Are you a sexy, indulgent musician suffering from consistent long hours, crippling self-doubt, and constant disappointment? Well, do we have a show for you?
Sex, drugs, and disappointment. Sex, drugs, and disappointment. Sex, drugs, and disappointment.
Welcome to Sex, Drugs, and Disappointment, a bi-weekly deep dive into what it takes to be a healthy and successful musician in the modern industry. My name is Melody Kaiser.
I'm Dustin Williams.
And I'm Donnie G.
And we are all full-time musicians and creative entrepreneurs. And today we are launching season 4 of Sex, Drugs, and Disappointment.
Cuatro.
Oh yeah. And we're super excited because we're really upping our game. This season, we've created a set and we have better cameras and better equipment. And we've got a lot in store for season 4 of Sex, Drugs, and Disappointment. And so thank you guys for coming along on this journey with us. It has been a crazy road.
Oh my gosh. Yes, it has.
Yeah.
We had to take some time off and just like focus on life stuff for a while as it be sometimes. But we're here ready to do it. I would also like to point out something very important, which is that Melody said that we have created this new space, but it was actually her who did all this, including getting these couches up here and painting the walls and new cameras and all that stuff. She did it in 2 days. So round of applause
Thank
for
you.
Melody.
Thank you.
Way to go, Mel.
Thank you guys so much. Yeah, I'm really, really excited about it. I think this is going to be a game changer for us. And we're planning on having a lot of guests this season.
Indeed.
And just really doing everything that we can to promote music in Atlanta and beyond. And we're really, really stoked for this season of the podcast. So today we wanted to introduce HeyDreamer to everybody in our Sex, Drugs, and Disappointment audience. We've mentioned that band before, and it's the band that we all play in. And but today we really want to kind of dive deeper into it because this season we're really going to put a focus on kind of merging the two, which we're really excited about. So HeyDreamer, let's talk about it.
Sure.
What is y'all's favorite part about being in the band HeyDreamer?
My favorite part is when we are being creative, writing music together in a room. And, I know it's cliche to say that, but like, obviously, that's what we're all here for, is to express ourselves and create music. And I think we all really work well together, and we're always like getting ideas from each other. We're curious of like, whoa, what's going to happen when Donnie comes in and adds this thing, and like, so yeah, I think it's just the creative side. Like, again, it's cliches as that sounds.
No, I agree with that.
Yeah, I totally agree with that as well. And for me, it's just the collaboration. I love working with you all towards a common goal, whether that's something musical or ideas, bouncing off ideas for what we want the stage to look like. Every aspect of it comes from a creative place, and it's something that when a group of friends can come together and do that, it's just icing on the cake.
Agreed.
No, I agree.
David, what's your favorite part?
Wah, wah. If you guys didn't notice, we have one person missing today, David Williams, Sir Drummer Extraordinaire.
Hooking up a washing machine, I believe.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he had some house stuff that he had to do today, but that's totally cool because we're going to have tons of opportunities this season to introduce you guys to him. Actually, he's been on the podcast before.
So is Donnie, yeah.
Yeah, we've had the band on as guests, but this season we're going to be hosts. And so anyway, we'll have plenty of opportunities to welcome him as a host. It's a better word.
Indeed.
Yeah, no, I agree with you guys. I think there's several things that make this band particularly special to me. I've always enjoyed playing in bands because of like the collaborative part of it.
Sure.
I've played more acoustic shows as a musician, especially in the last several years, than I have band shows. But they're not as fulfilling and rewarding as being able to kind of, just play with other people. But then also like this band like y'all are talented as fuck, by the way.
Lies.
Well, I mean, we're jury's out on testing, but no, I mean, it's really it's something special, I think, to have something, that always brought me so much joy, but now it's like on top of that, like musically, it's super exciting and fulfilling. And it's cool to have a band that you're like excited to tell people to come see.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Like,
Oh yeah.
like it's like, oh yeah, I'm in this band, but you wouldn't like it.
Dude. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Over the years, so many times, like, I'll be in a band and I'm like, oh, like I like playing with the band. I really do. But
yeah,
it's like, I don't know if you're going to like this stuff, but
right.
like, I feel like, obviously we're, biased here, but there's a little bit of something for everybody. I feel like kind of with our tunes, with our style. We all come from different backgrounds, and we've talked about that before on other episodes. But I think overall it's accessible. Yeah, we'll do some weird stuff sometimes and get a little riffy, but it's never like up.
Right.
I'd like to think we're never up our own asses with it, but I don't know. Maybe sometimes we are.
Sometimes I probably am.
Sometimes you know what, you got to be a little bit.
Yeah.
Right?
It's still like it's still a moment where most people, I feel like, who come to see the show, they can latch on to something, and if there's something that's maybe out of their wheelhouse a little bit, they either let it brush by until we get to another part of the song or another song that they can dig a little bit more, or they learn something. So, I feel like it's a win-win.
Sometimes they learn that they just hate us. And
sometimes there's that too.
What?
Yeah.
You're still learning. So at least there's that.
Yeah. And honestly, I would be curious to get y'all's opinion on this, because I've always been this way. I like some music just because it's not good.
Okay.
Like,
Sure.
is that acceptable? Like, do you guys ever feel that way?
I honestly don't think I have ever thought that any day in my entire life.
Really?
Well, let's dive deeper into that. Can you give us an example?
Yeah. So like, actually for Christmas, I got tickets to see this band that I really like that's called Peaches.
Uh-huh.
Have you guys heard of Peaches?
Mm-mm.
They do that song like the sucking on my titties.
Yeah. I know that.
on
Oh, that's
me
a band?
Yeah, and they're sick, and
Wow.
I've always really liked them because it's like obscure. To me, it's very punk rock,
Mm-hmm.
but the music is objectively bad. Like, it's literally like 808 drum machines with like mediocre everything else, right?
Okay.
But
sure.
it's something about the attitude of it that I like. And so, when I'm showing music to other people, a lot of times in my life, they've been like, this is not good. And I'm like, yeah, isn't it great? Like, it's so bad.
I mean, I see what you're talking about. I'd have to think for a minute, I guess, musically, if there's things that are like that for me. I know there's like movies or like TV shows that are like, maybe they're not, well, no, some of them are just objectively pretty bad, but like there's an enjoyment. It's like watching The Room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like that is bad, but there's an enjoyment of watching it. Now, I think for me at least, something like that is like it's enjoyed more when there's people to enjoy it with,
Right.
and to laugh together at
For
it.
sure.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But yeah, specifically from a music perspective, I guess I'd have to think about that and kind of like decide, is there something musically that I'm like, oh yeah, this is terrible, and I love the fact that it's terrible. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Not sure.
I've gotten that first part down. Oh, this is terrible, but I haven't done the brain exercise to expand upon what part of the terrible I can enjoy.
Yeah. I think my brain may be damaged because like as soon as I hear it, I'm like, ooh, I got to hear that again. That was real bad.
It's like, I don't know. And maybe like there are times where I'm listening to something where, okay, maybe the lyrics are really dumb, but whoever played on it, like, oh man, the guitar player on the song is like nasty.
Yeah.
Or like that, like, I forget what the artist's name is. Now that we have our phones
I
available
know.
to us.
How cool is that?
Let's see. The song is called Snake Farm. Wiley Hubbard. And so he has all these like they're comedy, like country western songs, I guess you could call it. And like, it's not like it's good, but it also is really good because like the music behind it's actually like pretty well done. It's funny. Like the lyrics are actually funny, but it's just like, you know, it's not the Beatles or something,
Sure.
you know what I mean? But,
Yeah.
you know, so I think that's maybe for me, that's as far as I can, that's where I go now as far as like, oh yeah, this is bad, but it's also good. But I don't know if there's just something and I'm like, this is really bad,
And
but I love it. I don't know if I'm there yet.
Same. I don't know if I've ever heard something and be like, woo, this sucks.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it depends on what it is, I guess, to me. Like, it has to have some kind of like artistic quality to it.
Mhm.
Mhm.
But to me, like, I'm a huge fan of like punk music and stuff like
Sure.
that, where it's like, it's not good.
Mhm.
Like, it's from a musical standpoint. Like, you know, I guess growing up and being in like band and stuff, like
Mhm.
those kind of people would think it's like the lowest art form on earth, you know?
Like
But,
Sex
I
Pistols
like
and
it.
stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
with groups like that, there's the whole like counterculture movement that comes along with it. So you're
Right.
not just focused on, yeah, it's bad. You're focused on the, you know, kind of the buck the system message that they're trying to show you.
The deeper art
Yeah,
behind not just the music, but the message or the even just like God, a student was telling me this the other day, and I had no idea, but I think it was like the Sex Pistols, and maybe it was Ramones or the Clash or something. But like the part of the reason those bands had so much early success was because they were basically a way to sell like a clothing brand.
Mm.
And I forget what it was. Like I didn't really look into a lot of research on this yet because he just told me this. I think it was like yesterday. But yeah, I was like, wow, I didn't know that. Like, I mean, it makes perfect sense because yeah, the music is not like deep or complex,
Right.
but at the same time, you look at all these tunes, and from a teacher's perspective, like that's some of the first stuff you teach kids because it's just so easy. It's just
Right.
like, all right, here's an A power chord, just hold that for a measure, and then do this, and then do that. You know, it's not just like, oh, you have to learn this riff, and oh, by the way, like half of it is on like the E's and the U's, you
Right.
know, of the 16th notes. So good luck, kid. But it's just
Right.
like, nope, driving eighths, da 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 da. You know, Blitzkrieg Bop, perfect
Right.
example.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, our music in HeyDreamer is not bad. We just went on this tangent, but I think it's good, and you should check it out. We released a song last year in the fall, and a music video for that song, and we've got more music coming actually this month.
Yeah.
On January 30th, we will release our next single, which is called Home of the Insane. A little less scary than it sounds.
Tell us what that's about, Melanie. You're the one who wrote it.
Yeah. It's about what it's like to live in America. And it's, you know, I think we can all agree it's been pretty bad.
Yep.
And so I had the idea for a hook one day, like, this is the land of the free, but it's not the home of the brave. It's the home of the insane. Like, everybody's crazy. And so then we've kind of taken that into like an artistic direction of, you know, kind of taking that literally. Yeah, I think it's a really cool song. It's got kind of like a 70s thing going for it, which I think is
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah, definitely. Kind of like to me when I first heard it, and then that's what you know inspired my approach to the bass line. So there's definitely kind of like a Sabbath-y thing to it.
Mhm.
Not at the beginning, because at the beginning it's almost like
Poppy.
very poppy. Yeah, totally. And then it gets like it kind of flips the script, gets more Sabbath-y, and you know, I definitely heard like that Geezer Butler kind of influence in my head
Yeah.
when I heard it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. So how it kind of fits into the bigger picture, we have an album that is coming out this year, and this album is a concept album, and it's the only concept album that I've ever been a part of. Have you guys ever been part of a concept album before?
No,
Like a
like
true-
this. No.
Yeah.
No.
So I grew up always really liking Tommy by The Who.
Sure.
Loved the movie, loved everything about it. I loved how it was one story. I'm usually not like a musical person, but this was cool to me.
Yeah.
Kind of like
It's
the
a
rock opera
Yeah,
kind of thing.
right.
So I didn't go that extreme in that direction, just because I didn't really, I didn't feel like that spoke to as much of who I am as an artist. But I've always really enjoyed stuff like that. But anyway, this concept album kind of follows one story. And so the album kind of takes you through different chapters of the same story. And we, in our heart of hearts, I wanted to really do like a video for each song. Realistically, that's not a thing that we can do right now. But we were thinking about, releasing the full story in some way, maybe packaged with the album. I haven't decided yet.
Yeah.
Or something you can buy in addition to the album when it comes out. But yeah, I think that this is really cool. Home of the Insane is chapter 6, I think, which is really cool. Because we started in the middle and are kind of working our way, skipping all around to tell the story. And last year for the album, we did a successful Kickstarter to raise funds for the album, which part of it went towards the studio. So this is really cool. Kickstarter was a totally unique experience. I've done one before, but it had gotten a lot more, there's just a lot more to it now, which makes sense because there's been a ton of projects. People are keeping it fresh. There's always more to offer, more to do. But yeah, so we've had a lot going on and I'm really excited about it.
What, or not what, but maybe just to dive deeper into the album, because like you've explained, obviously a little bit about what it's about. And you're, you wrote it. Like we all have come in, myself, Donnie, and David, and like added ourselves to it. And I know like we collaborated on a few lyrics here and there, but really this was you, So what was your? I mean, you've been writing some of these songs for a long time.
Right.
So how did this all did it all just, maybe over a period of like a year and a half, like it all just came flowing out? Or was this like, how did you piece it together? Let's talk about that.
Yeah. So this album took a long time to write just because I had been writing songs. And honestly, I didn't have the concept at the beginning at all.
Yeah.
I had written several songs though, and I kind of realized I'm like, all of these are about the same thing. And I was like, I didn't want to release an album where every song is the same or about the same thing without it being more conceptualized.
Sure.
So that's kind of where that came from. Is I was like, they're all kind of telling the same story just from a different side of it. And so I was like, how can I tie these all together in a way that it feels more like artistically done and not so much, just I don't have enough lyrical prowess to write different songs, that kind of thing. So yeah, the concept kind of came in the middle. And then once I kind of developed the concept to a point, I was able to kind of rearrange some things and change some lyrics here or there so that it made more sense altogether. But then once I kind of jumped off that mountain, it became really fun.
Yeah.
It's a lot more fun to do things like with artistic intention.
Right.
Instead of just fucking around.
Yeah. Than just be like, here's 10 songs that I thought were really good.
Right.
It's like, it's cool to be able to say more than that. So yeah, that's basically it.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think the story, I've wondered several times because this album has been a long time in the making, and I'm like, well, I feel like, what if by the time we release it, it's not really applicable anymore to real life? But then I'm like, it just gets worse. So I'm like, we can probably just wait it out, and like it will get more and more meaningful.
The message has only gotten stronger.
For sure. Yeah. And so I was actually talking to Brian Collins, who's the producer. He's helping me create these tracks through Real People Music. And we were talking about, the release schedule. And he was really suggesting, he's like, as much time and thought as you've put into this, he's like, I would just like do as many singles as you can.
Yes.
And like,
Yes.
you know, really push them all. And, you know, we've made contacts with people in Atlanta that do really, really great video work. And, you know, the more people that we've met, I'm kind of falling into that, you know, in agreement that I really want to just see how far we can take this.
Yeah.
This one project, just because it is, you know, it's so unique, I think. So anyway, yeah, I'm really excited about it. I've been in the studio, kind of slowed down in December a good bit, but now I've been in multiple times a week, and we're knocking some stuff out.
Yeah.
Which is exciting. And Brian is fun to work with, just because. So to give you guys like an example, on this new single, Home of the Insane, we really went ham with the harmonies.
Yeah, I saw that video. I can't wait to hear it. Yeah.
And, you know, Brian was like, is this too much? And I was like, no, it's never too much. Like we should always add another layer, because you can always mute it, you know, if you hate it. But I'm just always one of those people, like, get it down and then subtract later.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So yeah, we've kind of gone ham on it, but it's been really fun. And I want to say that I've learned a lot from just sitting beside Brian, because he's so quick with everything, but that would be a lie. I haven't learned anything. But it's been nice, you know, to be able to see somebody work so quickly. And honestly, anytime he sits down to make a change, he just clicks on a bunch of shit and it just sounds better. And I'm just like, man, it must be cool to know how to do that. But I know by asking, it's going to slow it down. So I just choose not to. But yeah, it's been really nice. It's been really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah. And so kind of back to just to kind of introduce everybody to HeyDreamer and the kind of the idea of us. How would you guys describe the HeyDreamer sound? This is one of the hardest things for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In booking and that kind of thing. Because I feel like it's kind of all over the place too, which is not maybe helpful from a business perspective. But anyway, I just wanted to get y'all's opinion on it.
I used to say high energy alternative rock, but there's so many more layers than that.
Yeah.
I actually have not honed in on a way to describe us just yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, alternative rock is always like the quick answer. If like, I'm just like, I don't know what else to tell you. Mm-hmm. And like, I don't want to get too esoteric here, you know, but, again, we all come from such different backgrounds that, you know, that definitely has a big influence. Like one of the best things that's happened to our music, I think over the past couple of years, is bringing you in, Donnie.
Thanks.
Because you bring such a new flavor to the sound. And, you know, we had that episode a while back where we talked about like film scoring and, music and film. And obviously, you know, that's not the only thing you've done musically, but it's a big part of your background professionally and creatively. And I think what that does for us is, you know, it's different than when you just bring in, you know, members who can like really play and come up with like cool licks. And it's like, all right, great. Like we've got an awesome organ part now, but it's like, no, this isn't just an awesome organ part. Like you're thinking about textures. Well, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but to me, what it appears like, what it appears like is that you're thinking about textures. You're thinking about, you know, like maybe you're seeing the visual in your head of what the scene of the song is, which is, you know, I think how some people write. It's not necessarily how I write. So it's really cool to have a different perspective. Because for me, it's like groove and, you know, locking in and like, you know, and it's obviously we're all doing all this stuff to a degree, but we all have different levels of it that we bring to the table. So I think that's really changed our sound though, for the better, you know, like these songs, some of them we've been playing for a while, even before Donnie came in, like Danger.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, and that one has evolved tenfold with everything that you've brought to it. And yeah, I think it's just made the creative process more exciting, because it's like, sometimes it's nice to be limited to just like, okay, guitar, bass, drums, like let's go for it. But I think with this band, with this new direction we've been heading in creatively, it's vital. I mean, everything you're doing is vital,
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't take a gig without Donnie.
I mean,
Because
literally,
like
yeah.
the sound is like half Donnie.
Yeah, it's seriously, it really is.
Yeah, I will say too, one thing I love about Donnie is like when we've had, it reel to reel, when we've done sessions where it's Brian and Donnie, and I just usually sit back and watch for the most part.
Yeah.
But Donnie's really good at like hearing parts.
That's what I was, yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
which is really cool.
Mhm.
It's not just like noodly things.
Yeah.
Like everything has intention, which is really cool. Because I agree with you. I think live, there's a lot of people that are like super flashy, but then, it's different when you get in like a recording setting and everything needs to have its place.
Yeah.
Those people usually become really annoying
Really quickly.
at that point in time.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it's like, this is the ballad part.
Right.
Like, stop walking all over.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's something that I really appreciate. And like Dustin said, the soundscaping and the tones that you use. And for our last single, I think I'm definitely planning on releasing it, and maybe having somebody bigger mix it. I haven't decided yet, but Donnie came up with a cinematic version for our last single, and that is sick.
It's beautiful.
So
it's like totally unique, and you can hear the song in it, but it's just like, wow, you've totally reimagined the song, man. It's crazy.
Yeah, it
like
is
all that
crazy.
came from one person.
Yeah,
That's nuts.
it's crazy. Yeah, and it's insanely good. So we're definitely gonna be releasing that at some point.
Well, you guys are making me blush.
Oh,
But I think
No,
that's
he is
what
awesome.
when I was saying like the collaborative, because it's not just even when I'm in my studio working on those like cinematic parts, I have the knowledge of knowing the I can play, I can try things, I can go full on, like you said, textural, and not feel like I have to just lock into a certain thing, or not feel like some of my ideas are going to be shut down completely. Especially in reel to reel, I may come with something, and like Brian has something else, and in that, just being able to switch, and not see it as, okay, this was my part. Okay, this is what my fingers know. This is what I'm noodling on. Just being able to look beyond self and focus mainly on the bigger picture. And I love that aspect of this project.
yeah.
It's been really educational for me, in the sense that when we were a 3-piece, there was like more space that needed to be filled.
Yeah.
So I feel like both of us, especially me, like I was playing a lot busier stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
And maybe I didn't need to, but there was part of me that's like, okay, this needs something to drive it more.
Yeah.
And since you've joined the band, like I've simplified what I do so much that it feels so much better to play, because I can focus even more on just like being in the performance aspect of it, as well as just like listening to the cool stuff that's happening around me. And that's something that's kind of been like happening for my musical taste over the past like couple years as well. I've just like, it's like I don't know if you all experience this, but for me, when I first started playing bass, like I really dove in right away, and I learned a lot. And, I got technically proficient over a pretty short amount of time, like maybe 3 or 4 years. Obviously there's a lot of stuff I couldn't do, but there was a lot of things I could do. And so like in my early years of playing, I was very busy. I would, overplay, and I would do all this stuff that just wasn't really necessary. And then over the years, I started learning, okay, I need to not do that, but there are still times where I'm going to do it, and then you get to this point in your career as a musician, or just in your skill set as a musician, where it's like, okay, I can do way more than I've ever been able to do before. And obviously, I think this goes without saying, but there's still so much I can't do. But I'm objectively a more technically able bass player than I was 10 years ago. But I play way less these days than I ever used to. And I think that's because obviously there's the maturity that comes with knowing your part and knowing your role. But being able to kind of zero in and like shrink down my musical projects to things that I really want to be involved with, has like really made me refocus more on like, okay, what do I really want to bring to the table here? And like, what I really want to bring is musical, like parts. And I want to bring, conversation. It's one thing if you're in a jam session and you want to go and do some crazy licks and have a good time, and every once in a while, yeah, I'll do a weird, really fast fill or something because it's cool and I want to try it. But for the most part, I'm like so much more like, okay, how can I leave space for all this other stuff that's happening?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I do. Well, that's awesome. Yeah, I don't really... I've definitely changed the way that I play since Donnie's joined the band.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. I think I can play with a lot more like, I guess I keep going back to this, but I feel like I can play with a lot more intention now.
Yeah.
Because it's a lot less just kind of what you were saying. Like I would fill the space with rhythmic things.
Right.
And now I'm like, well, that doesn't need to be there. So
Yeah.
I'm just going to go do, 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 do.
Right.
Do, 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 do. And like that's enough now.
Yeah.
And so that actually, it's really nice, honestly.
Yeah.
And it just kind of fills up the space in a different way. And I've always just really loved keyboards because like that's what my mom played when I was growing up. And so like I'm just used to them. I'm used to them being there.
Right.
I'm
Right.
used to like, any music that we listen to. She's like, yeah, check out this keyboard part. So like I've always been an appreciator of keyboards
Sure.
and pianos and synthesizers and stuff. So to me, it just feels so natural to have one
Yeah.
in the music that I'm playing. Especially just for like textural reasons, like what we were talking about, like having a piano really does kind of change the sound of a song completely.
Yeah.
It makes it sound fresher. It makes it sound more poppy. And same thing with the organ. It just kind of gives it this like rootsy kind of vibe, and it's just really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, well, I guess we can't speak for David, or can we? But David, I kind of feel the same way. David's like a very, he's like a very interesting drummer. I've never played with anybody like David. And where I'm coming at from that is like David's really into like jazz.
Yeah.
And like genres that are I feel like more rare in Atlanta for drummers to be into. I only know like a few jazz drummers, and I know I don't know that many people, but like I feel like it's a more unique thing in Atlanta than other genres. And so it kind of like he stands out to me as somebody that, he doesn't hit very hard necessarily, but he's like very well techniqued. Techniqued is that a word?
Techniqued.
He's got good technique. And I don't know, just the parts that he plays are really, really unique. And I think that's really cool.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, I guess my experience with drummers is a little different, I will say, because I think most of the drummers I've played with over the past years, at least the past few years, are more on the jazz realm, because there is such a big jazz scene in Atlanta.
Yeah, there is.
So yeah, like most, I would say most of the drummers I've played with over the past couple of years are definitely like jazz guys, or like, gospel drummers too.
Right.
Church gospel drummers. Big thing down here for sure. But I've played with all kinds of drummers, so I've definitely, had these different experiences. And I played with David for a long time, so I feel like we have our pocket that we create, and every single time you play with another rhythm section member, you're going to have a different pocket, you know.
Right.
The pocket I have with David is totally different than the pocket I have with Seif, with Arcos,
Yeah.
you know, or the pocket I have with Dylan, you know. It's all, you're responding to each other. If you're doing it right, you're playing for each other and you're listening to each other. But yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I agree. Obviously, like, you know, David has a lot of technical skill. And then what's interesting though is like so much of his musical interest background is also like Beatles and Zeppelin and stuff like that. So like, you know, he's pulling from all these things subconsciously and naturally, like we all do. But I agree. It's like, you know, the part, it's clear he's thinking about the parts that he's doing, you know.
Yeah.
But he has this technical ability to execute the things that he wants to, or if somebody else has an idea and it's like, oh, can we try that? Like, he can just do it, you know,
Right.
which
That
is
is
great.
a cool thing. Yeah.
Which is really great.
Especially like when we were doing drum tracking for this album, there were some songs where they were like, we're just going to throw in this like backwards polyrhythm tom thing in this 4/4 song.
Yeah.
And like it took him a couple tries, but he got it, which was like impressive.
Right.
Seeing him be able to just shift gears like that is amazing.
Yeah. So, you know, he's always a pleasure to play with too. I didn't want to leave him out.
Right. Yeah. This empty void we have on the couch over here.
Right.
We should have stuck a snare drum.
I know.
Yeah, we should have just grabbed your snare from the other room.
Right.
But I do love that, like all that said, we all keep our ears open. I can't think of one time really where we're playing on stage and something happens and it's not too long before the rest of us are in line with it. Like we're not saying, well, this is my lane, I'm sticking with it. It's like, oh, we're merging. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
a little scary in the moment, but it's amazing looking back to think, yeah, that was like, it was second nature. People out in the audience think that we practiced that.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
Totally.
I think too, like, and you know, there have obviously been times when, like, you know, we've all make mistakes, but I think there's been times when we've gone totally left field of what was rehearsed or what was thought of.
Yeah.
And we've definitely always found our way back before the end of the song.
Oh yeah.
But like, you know, it's, I think it's fun when stuff like that happens live.
For sure.
I mean, there's a time and place. Like there would be shows when that would not be fun,
Right.
you know, but I don't know. I think just growing up in like the bar and club scene, I'm very used to just like trying it and just seeing, you know, like mistakes or not. I don't look at them that way, at least for shows like that. It's always just kind of a, well, that fucking sucked. Like, oh, well, you know,
Right.
I've just never been somebody that really worries about, you know, let's just try it and see if it works.
Yeah. I mean, I think, you know, I mean, with few exceptions, I've always walked away from a show, you know, feeling overall good in the sense that like, okay, if I did make a mistake, you know, it was either something that ended up turning out to be kind of cool or it didn't turn out to be cool, but I learned from it and I've made a little mental log. Okay, I need to look out for that next time.
Right.
You know? So it's very rare that I walk away going like, oh man, that was just like not good, you know?
Yeah.
And that's never been the case for us. Like, I mean, I've always felt good, you know, walking away from shows, regardless of whether there are things I want to improve or not. But yeah, like you said, that's kind of like, it's kind of the fun of it too. Sometimes you do just have to like try something.
Yeah,
and,
that's
you know,
what I think too.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, even with like requests, as long as I know like the chord progression,
Yeah.
I'll just be like, let's just totally change the way that this feels. Like if
Right.
like playing one that I've always done is like Roxanne, right? Because the drum part's like really hard. And like a lot of times when you're playing with people, especially just doing cover gigs and you haven't played that many times together, it's a hard song to just like jump into.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I don't know, let's just do it slow. Boop, ba-ga-ga, boop, ba-ga-ga, boop,
Yeah.
ba-da-da-da, Roxanne, da-dun, ba-dun-dun, ba-dun-dun.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm like, I know you can play that, so let's just do it like that,
Yeah.
you know? Or I think that is fun. I get off on stuff like that for sure live.
Yeah. Sometimes like either knowing the limitations or maybe in some cases not knowing the limitations of like either somebody's experience on their instrument or their experience with like a song, like, you know, that can actually be a good thing in a cover situation like that, especially because you're just like, all right, well, you don't know this song, but you know what Nashville numbers are. So I'm going to tell you the numbers and you're going to follow me. And then, hey, let's just do like a shuffle groove. And then it's like, all right, cool. Nashville numbers 1, 4, 5, 6 and shuffle. I got that.
Right.
And then you play the song and it becomes, you know, something kind of new and, you know, reimagined. And like, you know, and we've done this with lots of songs. Eleanor Rigby is a big one. Like we totally redid that one. And I don't even know how I guess like you were saying, because we you know had this thing at the school not too long ago, but for you it kind of came out of you doing it acoustically.
Yeah.
That way,
because it's hard to make acoustic shows dynamic.
Yeah. Yep.
Like it's really easy to just do the same tone, same volume, same vibe for 3 hours, and that drives me crazy.
Sure. Yeah.
So yeah, I had to come up with a way to make it interesting for myself, honestly. Right. And I've done that with a ton of songs. That's where the Roxanne thing came from. Because I'm like, well, I don't have the drummer to do that.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, how can I make it cool enough to play right now? And you know, it's funny, like from an improv standpoint, like when I've done acoustic shows, and and I've run out of songs or like I can't think of what to play, I'll just like totally SNL make up a song on the spot. Like 1, 6, 4, 5, and I'll just sing random words and melodies, and people are like, wow, that touched my heart. And I'm like, I think I've only been told that one time, but still I was like, something. I'm holding on to that because I'm like, that was total bullshit that I just pulled out of my ass.
Right.
But I think stuff like that's fun. I guess, I don't know. I don't really take, cover shows or like bar shows, club shows, that seriously, as long as people are into it. That's my main thing. You know, and if somebody requests something, even if I don't know it super well, I'll play enough of it where like they're happy, and then I'll just transition into something else that I do know.
Verse, chorus, bridge, maybe one more chorus.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Which is really, I do that a lot when people ask for like old country stuff or stuff that I only know like the first verse to and the chorus. I'm just like, yeah, I know that one. Do, 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 do. And then I'll transition into like a Beatles song or something. Yeah. Something that I do know well. But I think stuff like that makes you better too. Even at arranging, because you're having to arrange on the spot.
Yes.
And you're having to think like, what's another song I know that's kind of in this feel? Yeah. Even if I have to change the key, it will go together, you know? And I think stuff like that makes you better in band situations too.
Oh, so, totally.
And in DJing, they do the same thing kind of.
Yep. Oh, 100%.
You're right. Yeah, I think stuff like that, it's really cool. And you're absolutely right, because I have a friend that's a really good DJ, and he knows like the keys to like every song.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's weird. That's a weird thing to memorize, but okay. You know? And that's pretty cool.
The DJ for Arcos is like that too. Vision. Yeah. He knows like the BPMs and the keys to all these songs. And he's like, he knows how to repitch stuff and make it flow together. Because he's like very musically inclined, you know, like a lot of people, you know, will shit talk DJs and like, oh, they're just pressing buttons and doing nothing. But, you know, and yeah, there's going to be some out there that do that.
But he's like a real DJ, right? He has
Oh, he has the whole.
There's like a whole technique to that.
There's a lot of technique to that.
So I worked at Guitar Center, and we had, I'll say his name, I don't care. We had this guy that worked there named Trey, and he was a DJ in clubs in Atlanta. And he was like this very daunting, like super tall, huge, like football player looking guy. And everybody was kind of scared of him, but he like really liked me. And so we would like hang out, and he tried to show me one time how to do the DJ thing, and tried to show me the technique of like, you turn this up as you're twisting that, but then you have to turn it down. And it was hard.
Oh yeah.
Like it was way harder than I thought it was.
Yeah.
Like you would have to practice it a lot to
Yeah.
be as good at it as they are. And so I think that's cool.
Oh, it's so cool.
It's
yeah.
really cool.
Yeah.
Because like I said, it was way harder than I thought. It was like its own instrument.
Mhm.
Anyone that says DJing is just pressing buttons, just have like a 5-minute conversation with the DJ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I do think
Yeah,
there's
for
like
sure.
levels of DJ too.
Sure.
Because
yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know, there are like the iPod DJs, but like
Mhm.
Yeah.
if you're talking like a real, what I would consider a DJ, then like there's a lot to that. For sure. And you know, honestly, I feel like DJs, at least the ones that I know, they get paid really well.
Mm-hmm.
Like
yeah.
weddings and stuff like that. Like they bank.
Yeah.
So good for them.
Yeah.
'Cause
It's a lot of work.
I can't get that much money for nothing, man.
The at least with Vision, and I'm sure a lot of DJs work this way too, just based on the conversations I've had with him. But like, you know, most DJ shows, like at least with a band, sometimes, you know, it depends on what you're doing, but like you can show up to the gig, there's already a PA, there's already lights, you just show up and you set your shit up and you go. And with a DJ, like they have to bring it all. They have to bring the whole PA. They have to bring the whole lighting truss system and like, you know, so like, you know, and obviously there are bands that do that, but you know, a band that does that is charging like 15 grand for a show. So to your point, it's like, you know, there's a lot of setup and work that goes into that job. So it makes sense.
Yeah.
It
Well,
makes
and
sense.
you can tell which DJs are making bank because their lighting systems are fucking sick.
Oh,
yeah.
God. Yeah.
Like they
Mhm.
really are. They have like lasers and all kinds of like really cool stuff. Yeah, I love stuff like that. Have you guys ever heard of Pretty Lights? It's
No.
like a DJ band kind of thing. I saw them at Halloween, which is like a music festival they do in Florida. And it was like the most professional extreme version of what we're talking about.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
With like the light show of the century.
Yeah.
And everybody was so into it. And it was just really cool to see like a sea of people
Mhm.
just like super into DJ like music. It was sick. I liked it. I guess it could be like electronic EDM could be what genre Pretty Lights is considered. But anyway, just thought about it. But yeah, I think you know, I think that there's a lot to be said for DJs, and I think it's a big thing in Atlanta
Oh, definitely.
too. Yeah. And speaking of DJs, this is totally off topic, but well, kind of. We released a remix of our song late last year.
Good transition.
Thank you. Which was done by, the remix was done by Jonathan Beckner.
Yeah.
Who is an Atlanta musician. He's an engineer. He actually engineered most of our upcoming album, at least the drums and bass tracking. And he's just a cool dude.
Yeah. Really
Jonathan's
nice guy.
just interesting. He's one of the most interesting people I've ever met, I think.
Yeah.
Very heady, like intellectual guy.
Yeah.
Mhm,
Yeah. Very,
for
very
sure.
smart guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really funny too.
He is. Yeah.
He has great like dry humor.
Yeah.
It'll just like, he'll come out of nowhere and just like, damn, that was good.
Yeah. Yeah. He's really, like I said, he's just very interesting to me. But he did a great job remixing the latest single that we released.
He did, yeah.
And he turned it into a techno thing, which I had to ask him what subgenre of EDM the song was considered. That shows you how much I know about EDM.
Right. Right.
So, but I thought he did a really, really cool job, and I'm working on trying to get it in some clubs in Atlanta to get
Nice.
spun by some DJs.
I need to give it to Vision.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, tell him what BPM it is. You probably know immediately.
Yeah. I don't even know what BPM
I
it is.
don't remember. 135,
Okay. Sure.
I think. But yeah, I was really proud of that. That's something that that's super cool. Just having stuff like that. Have you guys ever done that before in any past projects, like remixed songs that you've created?
Yes, actually,
Yeah?
a long time ago, with the early sagas, actually, with the still Silver Comet days, we had one song, I think that was remixed to be sort of like dubsteppy, because that was like really popular at the time.
Yeah.
I don't even remember which song it was, and I'm pretty sure we released it, but that was like the only other time I've done anything like that though.
Yeah.
So it was cool to do that.
What about you, Donnie? Did you guys ever do that?
No, I can't say that I
Yeah.
have.
I'm into it. I kind of want to keep doing it. I just
Yeah.
want to see
Yeah,
like
for
I want to
sure.
give people stems and be like, do it. Let's see what you've got, because it really is cool. It's cool to see like different artistic interpretations of the same thing. Which honestly, when you think about it, I guess that's really even what a master recording is. Because we've done so many songs where like the demo was a totally different idea
Oh,
than, you know, the produced.
Finished version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it, you know, the more people that kind of get their influence on it, it really changes, which is cool.
I feel like Hard Life could be a good one to do that with.
Oh, for sure.
Because it's already like a, you know, sort of funky tune.
Yeah.
So that would be good.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe that's something we can do with like some musicians throughout Atlanta too. It's just be like, let's redo this
Yeah.
Yeah.
into something completely different. Because one song on the album, Destination Unknown, which is the last track on the album, and it'll probably be an album cut only. But, you know, we were talking about adding like cellos and all kinds of stuff like that
Yeah.
to it. So I've been reaching out to some cellists that I know
Yeah.
and just, you know, getting a general
Feelers out
idea of
there.
their availability and what they
Mhm.
would charge. And, you know, it's interesting with orchestral people because most of the orchestral musicians that I know are members of AFM,
Mhm.
which is the union, the American Federation of Musicians. And so they come with kind of set rates. But then even beyond that, it's interesting to work with them on a creative level because most cellists do not improvise
Yeah.
Mhm.
at
Right.
all. And they really want you to have the part kind of already written out for them so that they don't, you know, they just read the sheet music,
You're right.
which is awesome. It's just a totally different way to think than
Yeah.
any other musician. So, you know, I've been kind of thinking through that as well. Like, I really want to make sure that I have the part how I want it to be before they show up. Yeah.
This
Let's
guy
go,
right here.
Daddy. Honestly,
kinda what he does.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. And so yeah, that's been interesting. And I do know I've been trying to decide if I want somebody. There's a younger woman that I know, and she plays in more local orchestras, but she's just got like a cool hangout vibe. And but then I also know one cellist that's in the Atlanta Symphony, which they're the same price because it's AFM.
Mhm.
Sure.
But I would be curious to see like what the different work environments would be between the two.
Yeah.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
There's and I think particularly with this song and like having the, you know, the orchestral parts, like going in with a written part would be the better way to do it. But I know someone as well who's like great cello player, but he's like more on like the songwriter side, and he uses like a loop station and does all this other, and it's totally different playing.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, honestly, what I may end up doing, Donnie, is I may just give you what stems we have and just let you kind of arrange some stuff, and then we can just go from there.
Yeah.
Because that may honestly save time. Because I'm not against using like, you know, Brian's gotten really into the Suno stuff, the
Mhm.
AI stuff, just for demoing, just to get ideas out. But it hasn't worked for me, like, you know, it did for him. And I think it's just because my songs are more unusual,
Yeah.
but it doesn't really, it doesn't do well with him.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I deleted that subscription. I tried it like on 3 different ideas, and everything it spat out was like terrible.
Yeah.
So it was just like, you know, not even worth it. But yeah, I think that would be a good way to do it, just so that, you know, we're not hiring musicians and then having to ask them back a
Yeah.
few times.
Yeah.
you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the diversity of this album is part of what really excites me. There's songs on there that are kind of like R&B-ish. There's some like heavier songs, like the first song on the whole album, You've Lost Your Power, It's more in the heavy realm.
Oh, very much so. Yeah. I
Um,
used my dingwall on that one. That's about as metal as you can get for a bass.
That's a bass, just so y'all know, his ding wall. So it's not what you think.
It's not what it sounds like, y'all.
I use my ding wall on that. But no. but no. It's kind of a heavier song. I remember when we did the demo for the first song on the album and I showed it to Dustin, I had kind of gone overboard with the octave guitars. And Dustin was like, it sounds like a chord song. I was like, really? That's not what I was going for at all.
I mean,
it did though.
It did.
But I was going through this phase of really enjoying like Royal Blood.
Sure. Yeah.
And then I realized it's not so much the tones, it's more the arrangement that I really liked.
Yeah.
So I kind of cooled it off on the octave thing, but
You got to experiment though,
yeah. Do you guys ever do that? Because I do that all the time. I like try to recreate a sound that I like and fail miserably.
Yes.
Yeah.
All the time.
I'm just like, that's not what I was going for at all.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. It's not just me.
No,
Because I
it's
do it
definitely-
all the time.
You learned something.
Yeah. Well, too, like, a good example is I also really like Muse
Sure.
and like, things like that. And there's just no way to recreate it. Not really.
Yeah, I
Not
mean-
without it just sounding exactly like Muse because it's
Well, there
such
you
a
go. Yeah.
unique like sound.
Yeah.
I kind of feel that way about like Radiohead too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Radiohead's one of those bands where I can even play a chord progression and I'm like, that's a Radiohead song. Like everybody knows it. You're not fooling nobody. But
And that's the thing that kind of makes every one of these bands unique, and I'd like to think what makes our band unique is like there's aspects of the music that's just not replicatable, and not because like you can't get the tone or you can't get like the chord progression right. It's just something about the mojo that's just there that you can't like copy.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
I agree. Yeah. And Matt Bellamy's breath. That's really
Yeah.
his breathing
His breathing is so
stresses me the
unique.
fuck out. Yeah. He's like, can stop control us. I'm like, dude's about to fucking pass out by the time the tracking for the song's done.
Hyperventilating.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, it's real.
But anyway, we just wanted to come on and introduce the band and talk about what we've got going on. Our next single, Home of the Insane, is out on January 30th. So you guys be on the lookout for that. We will have a video to follow, and we plan on releasing way more singles before the album comes out. And we're going to really do our best to make sure that we give this album the best chance that we can. And if you guys haven't checked any of the Kickstarter stuff out, the Kickstarter's technically over, but we would love for you to go on and kind of see what everything's all about. And if you want to see some behind the scenes stuff that we don't share on regular social media, check out our Patreon. Because I try to post on there some stuff that, doesn't really get posted anywhere else. So it's kind of cool.
We have some gigs coming up too.
Yeah.
Some shows coming
in
up.
February, we're going to be at the Loft. We're going to be at Sissy's Pub in
The Lofts in Columbus. To be
Columbus.
specific.
Yes, that's correct. Sorry. Columbus, Georgia. We're going to be at the Loft. We're also playing at Sissy's Pub in Villa Rica the night before, just to stay on this side of town. We've got a lot coming up this year, so you guys be on the lookout. We'll kind of give updates in every podcast episode just to let everybody know where we're going to be next. But this year is looking like it's going to be a really exciting, fruitful year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you all so much for listening to this episode of SDD Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode and you want to hear more or find out more about us, follow us on Instagram and TikTok at SDD Podcast, and check us out at HeyDreamer Bands. We have a website, heydreamerband.com. We're on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok. And like we said, we got a lot coming up. So be there. Keep listening. All right. See you guys.
And remember, have fun. Don't do too much. and it's going to happen.
Digga, 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 digga.
Sex, good,